As a community network, we have deployed internet and connected schools. At the end of the day, we've been able to ensure that 15 schools have been connected. What does this mean? It means children, teachers, and parents are able to have access to internet. Because these schools, you find that there are tablets there, teachers were not able to use those tablets, and they were not able to access reports in times, because CBC, which is curriculum-based competency education, ensure that teachers are able to report every day to the ministry and able. So what does it mean for tech workers? Because one is that within those schools we have public spaces. We are able to connect public spaces in those schools. So tech workers are able to get into those spaces. They're able to buy bundles as cheap as 10 shillings. When they buy bundles as cheap as 10 shillings, they're able to access internet for 2 hours. And that 2 hours they can be able to work. So Digital comes in not only to give bundles, but ensure that they're able to use the platform well, safeguard their safety, and ensure that at the end of the day, the information that they give and they deliver is best for the community.
So I think one of the things that we can do is, can we be able to offer digital literacy for domestic workers, so that they're able to navigate this technology that is there, that offers the courses that they can use to get a certificate that will also help them with the bargaining power.
One of those things I want to see on this research will be going forward, what is the best engagement or advocacy method, probably on training, in terms of training, capacity building, and strengthening the tech workers.
The biggest opportunity I see in this research is cross-sector collaboration to form a powerhouse that can be able to defend tech workers and domestic workers in all fronts. Number one, to strengthen the unions, to bring accountability, and also to bring legislative reforms. I see this research as an opportunity to also strengthen our participation in county and global participation in ILO standards. And in this way, we can be able to protect domestic workers and tech workers in this undefined digital world that we are moving into.
Kenya is taking milestones. It's currently in the process of ratifying the ILO Convention 189 and 190. And we believe that once this is ratified, the space of the domestic worker will be recognized as a profession, will be respected by the employers, the government, and also the employees will also respect the work that they are given.
So government is critical to this project. Government, of course, holds the power and they make the decisions. We can also distinguish between governments, those are the people we vote, hopefully, into power, but also the process, the governance. And that would include things like regulations and standards and the legal system as well. And when we're looking at the platform economy, these are areas that we really need to think about. What type of regulations, what type of standards, for example, gender-responsive standards on the digital economy, the platforms that people use to access work and actually the gig work that they do on it. And that governance can happen at all levels. It can happen at the very, very local level. It can happen at the national level, of course, the regional level, and also the transnational level, the international space. And that's one of the areas that I particularly work at. Certainly with this project, what we'll be doing is taking the empirical evidence and using it to try to shape the ways in which that governance happens. And obviously our goals are to do with gender equality, empowerment, equity. So key themes that we want to make sure are bedded into the sorts of regulations and legal systems that govern these digital spaces. And in particular, I'd just like to mention that coming up this year in 2026, the ILO, that's the International Labour Organization, is currently drafting a convention on decent work in a digital economy. And of course, what we really like to do is bring some of this evidence that we're collecting, the empirical work, and present that to the ILO and shape some of the ways in which they embed a gender perspective into their work in the shaping of a new convention that will govern across the world.